Once upon a time, not in a faraway kingdom but in a quiet corner of an ordinary world, Eden found herself unlocking the door to a cottage that would soon become home. She found herself in a room much smaller than she imagined, and in learning how to live within it, she discovered how to create comfort, beauty, and ease, one corner at a time.
There's something magical about how our surroundings can lift our spirits and help us find joy, especially through the coldest months of winter. And as I watched the first hints of spring peek through, I realized how much this little space means to me. Today, I'm going to take you on a whimsical journey through my roughly 10-foot by 6.5-foot bedroom and share how, despite its Harry Potter closet size, I turned it into a cozy sanctuary that's also functional. There's no dramatic transformation or giant shopping haul because I want to keep it real, and I'm a college student with limited funds. I think it's really important to make do with what you have and invest in the few things that will make the biggest difference in how you feel in your space. So first, I wanted to talk about lighting. Light has so much magic, and it can really affect our mood and how we feel. This room only gets sunlight during a small part of the afternoon. I love the beautiful stained glass and being able to watch the squirrels and birds outside. It's such a lovely window, but realistically, it's not enough light to help me function in here. Also, all the wooden walls, as charming as they are, they contribute to the darkness and can make it feel as though I'm trapped in a cave that's dark, and I realized that I needed better lighting. So I started with just a lamp, and it made a big difference, but it still wasn't enough, and my overhead boob light, the light bulb went out, so I need to change that. But even with that on, when it did used to work, it wasn't enough light still. So I just figured I needed another light, and I prefer secondary lighting anyways over the overhead one. In this bedroom, I only have one outlet that is accessible, and the other one is blocked by the bed, and it was blocked until I unblocked it. I really didn't want my outlets to be taken up by lamps with cords.
Honey?
So I got this idea from Pinterest to add battery-powered sconces, and I'm really proud of how they turned out. I hung them up with command strips because that's a renter-friendly alternative to putting screws in the walls, and they're completely battery-powered, so all I have to do is charge them once a week, and they make all the difference in the vibe and the practical visibility in this room. I also have a salt lamp that my best friend got me, and I absolutely love it so much. It adds a ton of warmth, and it goes with the theme of natural materials, like all of the wood that's going on in this room. Additionally, I have a diffuser that I borrowed from my housemate. This really helped me to feel super comfortable just breathing in the room. I'll probably get one of my own very soon. Not only does it provide another cozy lighting situation, but the comfort level of the air has improved, which may seem like a trivial thing, but this is a point that I want to make clear. The little things are the biggest things. The little things add up, and those are ultimately what matter and make a difference in your quality of life. What I mean for the little things is how you feel when you first walk into your room. What does the air feel like? How do I experience the space? What barriers are preventing me from keeping routines that I want to have or doing activities that I want to do? It's so important to pay attention to these little things, the little things that you love about your room and the little things that bother you about your space. You can slowly come up with solutions and make adjustments over time that will make all the difference. Next, let's talk about room layout. For me, furniture is one of those things that always goes through countless iterations until I gradually find the best layout over time. When I moved in, My bed didn't even fit in the space that it's in now. This back wall is the exact measurement of the length of this twin bed, but the problem is that the trim sticks out just far enough on both sides that the bed just didn't fit. So with the help of my dad, I carved out a chunk of the bed legs which I think is absolutely hilarious, and it's so much better that now that it actually fits in here. This bed was just an old IKEA one that I've had for most of my growing up, so we weren't too sad about cutting chunks out of it. It really makes all the difference because I have the whole rest of my room back. And I think that's the biggest thing to do in a small space, is to find the best place for your bed that gives you the most open space. And with the bed being tucked between these three walls, I was able to multi-purpose the bed space as also like a futon lounging situation, and I can watch movies on my monitor across the way. And I used this green cushion. It was originally meant to be a sun chair cushion, but I was able to make it work for lounging purposes. As for my desk, I've had it against both walls before, and I decided that I like it best by my window so I can look out when I'm working, and it's no longer posing as a nightstand, and the chair's not blocking all the carpet space in the middle of the room. And as for the aesthetic of this, I would love to change the hardware, and I would love to get a green, smaller vintage chair. But for now, I have this gray one and it works great. So those are things I have in mind for the future, but just haven't done yet. The last major furniture item is my dresser. And originally I had it next to my desk on the only other wall that there was space. And this was super annoying because I couldn't open my closet door. It just blocked everything. It felt super imposing because it's so tall and it's more wood. It wasn't working for me. One day I realized by some miracle that it actually fits in the entryway just barely. That opened up the room so much. And the only downside you could say is that when I open the drawers, it blocks the door from opening, but I don't think that's a problem when I'm getting dressed, that people can't come in. I think that's perfectly fine and works for me. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention is my monitor it's super big and my desk is very tiny, and I used to have my monitor on my desk, but I didn't have any room to like use a notebook or write on my desk or do work there, and I didn't even have room to put my laptop on there with the monitor so I could even connect it and use it. So realistically, this just wasn't functioning for any of my needs. To problem solve this, I used this green shelf that my boyfriend let me have to be home for the monitor, and this freed up my desk. So yay, so much better. Okay, now let's talk decoration. Since this is a very tight space, I wanted to balance coziness without feeling overwhelmed by too much clutter or things on the walls, because I can get overwhelmed pretty easily. So first, these are some twiggy plants that I found while on a walk home from school, and I put them in an old kombucha bottle. I really love how it looks, and when I look at them, it reminds me of that beautiful day when I went on that walk. And on my bulletin board, I like to keep letters from friends and Polaroids and anything else that makes me happy. I think it's so important to fill out your space with little things that bring you joy in your day. And I also have this Van Gogh print hanging up, which I love, and I honestly think I need to put up more paintings in my room because I do have some blank walls still. And of course, I also have a mirror because everyone's heard the advice that mirrors open up a space and make it feel so much bigger than it is, and I definitely agree with that advice and encourage it. As for ideas to decorate in the future, I would love to try out that peel and stick wallpaper on maybe one of the doors over here to break up the continuity of so much wood. Another thing I forgot to mention is the curtains. I think that the curtains in my bedroom just make this feel so much more cozy and luxurious. And it really separates the nook, but unifies it with the rest of the room because it ties in the white from the ceiling into the rest of the room. And it just brings everything together, enclosing that nook. I think that's everything for my bedroom. I just really want to inspire you to make the most of your small spaces. Please let me know if you have any questions about my room or suggestions to improve it in the future. And definitely leave me a comment about it. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe.